Hey, it's Ethan. Today I'm going to walk you through 5 practical automations that you can sell right now to make money with AI. I'm presenting these based on their ability to produce a clear ROI for clients and how easy it actually is to sell them. And so I've personally made over 80 grand selling automation systems just like these, and each one on this list is a system that I've sold directly or built for my own business. So this isn't theoretical. These are battle-tested systems with real market feedback. I'll start out this video by showing you how to make automations high ROI, like what determines the value of an automation. And then we'll go through each of the specific examples and I'll screen share and show you the back end of what it actually looks like. So let's dive right in. So a high ROI automation rests upon 3 essential pillars. The first is a clear deliverable. The client needs to get something tangible, some tangible output from you where they can see the value of it. And your ability to package up this deliverable in a way that makes it easy to understand the value is what will determine how happy they are to be working with you. The second one is it has to solve a real pain point, a pressing pain point. Most people get this one wrong because they just try to build any automation and they think that it's solving a pain point, but it's really not. So ask yourself, is this directly impacting revenue generation? Is this directly solving a constraint, solving a bottleneck in their business? If it's not, you're not going to get paid for it. And so the last part is the templatable methodology. And so essentially with no-code systems like make.com or n8n, which I will show you in a second, you can take these systems and make them templatable so that you can plug and play these for multiple different clients. And I have more videos talking about how to scale the templatability of these systems through tools like Lovable. But without further ado, let's dive into the deliverable aspect. And so automations are sometimes hard for clients to understand, right? Their value is not immediately apparent, and your job is you have to create something tangible that the client can perceive and relate to. So maybe it's a CRM system that you built for them that they can interact with. Maybe it's social media posts that are being scheduled out that they're seeing on that platform. Maybe it's some sort of PDF that they're getting emailed on a weekly basis with the output of your automation. Now, step 2 would be building this into some sort of user interface using vibe coding tools, which I have videos on. But if you're just a beginner, I would recommend just having it generate PDFs or having it generate social media posts or outputs, right? And because systems are inherently immaterial, because you have to think about how you package it, right? So most software infrastructure resists visualization. So your task is to take an abstract black box of an n8n workflow or a make.com automation and turn it into something concrete that your client can conceptualize. So these systems generate immediate results and they help the client feel like, oh, I can actually see the value of this. So a couple examples, and we'll go into more, but a PDF generator that creates a white paper that creates a quote or a proposal upon a form completion, a CRM where they're seeing data getting updated into the CRM based on certain triggers on a weekly basis, on a daily basis even, or some sort of cold email system where they're getting an email notification every single time a warm lead comes in. And so that is what a clear deliverable looks like. So the second part is it has to solve a very pressing problem. So it's pretty obvious, I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Businesses only allocate their resources, they only spend money to solve solutions that are actually urgent problems. So what constitutes an urgent problem is if there's a constraint, if there's a bottleneck that inhibits revenue generation. If you solving something will reduce their costs by more than what they're paying you, or if it will reduce their time spent. I recently just sold an 11 grand automation system specifically because it just removed a time constraint in this person's life. They were spending 30 hours a week doing something manually, and I said, hey, I can build you an AI system that will pretty much do all of this for you. And it freed them up 30 hours per week. And so they paid me 11 grand for it because that is such a pressing problem. And so the more pressing the need, the simpler the transaction. Because if you can say, hey, this is exactly how I will solve this need for you, they'll be like, I'll give you all the money that I have if you actually can't solve this. Obviously, there's risk guarantees and stuff like that. And so your ability to build and sell these automations is your ability to understand what that problem is and to speak to it, right? And you don't want to try to solve everything all at once. You want to say, what is one industry that I know? What is one specific problem that they have? Maybe their support team is overwhelmed. Maybe the invoice processing is really difficult. Maybe creating proposals is really difficult, as you'll see with one of the systems in a second. And so that's the second part. The third part is it has to be scalable. If you're spending 100 hours to build out an automation, that's a little excessive, but if you're spending 25 hours to build out an automation, then it's not really scalable, because every time you get a new client, you have to spend 25 hours. And if you make this templatizable, if you make it into JSON templates, which I'll show you in a second, you can basically just plug and play, and you can set up a CRM within a matter of hours. You can do this with clients, and then you can just plug and play and set it up on their systems. So without further ado, let's go into the actual automations themselves. So this deep personalization system, what I mean by this is a cold email outbound system. It's a sales system that goes and finds people, it verifies them, it enriches them, and then it personalizes custom emails to each one of these people based on the information in the research that we did on them. This is the most profitable system that I've come across. I've sold this to about half a dozen clients now, and it's probably at least half of my business, maybe more. And so basically the essence of this is it's a series of AI prompts that produce highly customized emails. And as you get better at this, you will create more revenue for your clients. You will create more leads. And the clear deliverable is, usually this will actually be on you. So the clear deliverable is leads in their CRM and sales calls. Basically, you're handing them off warm leads once you send these messages and the clients become interested. And so let's dive into what this looks like on the back end. So you can build this out in either make.com or N8N. I personally use N8N because how they structure their payment, it makes it, you can do thousands of these without having to pay a dime. And so this is the essence of the system right here. So if we go into the system, I'll show you what it looks like. And I run this exact template. I literally just ran this template last night for a client, adding 10,000 leads into their campaign. And so this, even though it looks fairly simple, depending on who you are, might look a little bit complex. But what we are literally doing is just pulling in leads, verifying them, verified leads into a spreadsheet. We're looping over every single lead. We're using Perplexity to go out and research information on that lead. And then we are using OpenAI to personalize a one-liner message to them. And then we're updating that row. And then once it finishes going through all of them, if I show you the one that ran last night, oh, it's still running, 311 minutes. I'm actually going to stop that. Just so that it doesn't waste credits. But you can see it. I literally just ran this overnight. It ran on like 10,000 leads. And it's personalizing messages to this. I booked 4 sales calls last week for my own automation business using this very system. So it both works. If you start building out the system, this is the one I would recommend you build out more than any other one. Because if you build this out, it's going to get you clients as well as other people clients. And you can use it both for your clients and for yourself. And so then a different version of this is this one where I actually built out the entire system end to end, where Apollo will use an Apify scraper. So we'll go and scrape leads, and then we'll go through each lead. We'll check if we've already contacted them. And then we will basically say, we'll use this million verifier is the tool to verify, is this a valid email? If it is, we'll go and do research on them. We'll write a custom message, and then I'll add them directly into my campaign. And so this system essentially adds 1 to 2,000 verified emails with personalized messages into my sales email campaigns every single day without me having to lift a finger. It just runs completely on autopilot. So this, you can see why this is a high ROI automation. And it just addresses very clear pain points. So the second one is the search intent lead scraper. And so this essentially says, did someone just post a job? Let's go and reach out to them. Did someone just receive a funding round? And so it's basically the system I just showed you, but you can say, hey, not only will I set up an outbound campaign for you, but I will set it up with highly personalized triggers such that we're reaching out to people that are extremely warm. If someone's posting a job that they want someone to build out, maybe they post a job for an AI specialist or a no-code specialist, you could reach out to them and be like, hey, I saw your job. My team and I can do it for half that price. If you're going to pay someone $6,000 a month, we can do it for $3,000 a month for you. And I saw you're already looking to hire. So that shows that they already have the funds, right? You can build this out for yourself. You can build this out for other people. This is one I use more internally for myself. But I'm looking to actually set this up so that if for other people that are starting AI businesses, I can just set this up for you and I can start getting you clients. And so I'll show you what that looks like. So if we go over here into N8N, what that looks like is, let me find it. It's called Indeed Job Scraper or LinkedIn Job Scraper. So this is the outreach campaign. So we're pulling in information from an Apify scraper. So we're scraping a bunch of LinkedIn jobs. Then we're using something called an email finder to go and actually find and figure out what the email is of the founder or the hiring manager at that company is. And then we're adding the lead into our campaign. And so it's a fairly simple automation. We get all of the jobs. We find the emails for the people. I'll probably add another step in here to actually verify these emails. Then if we found the email, if it's a valid email, we will then go and add it to our campaign. So ideally, we're adding hundreds of these per day into our campaign or into your client's campaign. So the third one is the content improvement system. And so there's a couple different content systems. I've built content production systems for clients, but this is one that I use personally for YouTube, for Instagram, which I'm getting off the ground right now. And so I'll show you a little bit of what this looks like. And the essence of this system is that we're just going and we're finding top performing posts on, let's say, Instagram. We're figuring out what is a different version of that we can run for ourselves, and what does that look like. So this system that I run, this is short form videos. So we basically give it certain criteria. This is the types of accounts that we want to scrape for. This is the types of how we want to evaluate the video and how we want to generate the new script. And then essentially what will happen is it will add all of these backlog ideas in here. I did not create a single one of these cards. And if I go into one of these, you can see here's the original caption. Here's the updated caption, updated title, updated caption from this video. Here's the person that originally posted it. Here's the video URL. Here's how much traction it got. A lot of times I'll delete and archive these, and I'll just look for the ones that seem interesting and relevant. And then what I'll do is I'll go and I will literally record a similar version of this. I will have it write me a transcript, and then I will review that transcript. And if we see right here, I'll show you. This is a video I recorded, I think, a week ago for a short form video that was directly from this system. So you can run this for yourself to grow your own audience or for your client. So this was on the video. Let's see if it'll load here. I've developed 5 practical AI automations with my dev team that clients are paying for. And so you can see that I've developed 5 practical automations with my dev team. Boom. Obviously, I edited this a little bit because this is actually true. And I edited it from the original script that says I built 10 high ROI automations to I built out 5 practical automations with my dev team. So you can see it's different. And I'm making sure that it fits my brand, tone, and voice. But now I edit those, and then I have my video editor go in here and actually go and edit each of the videos. So now I'll show you the video editor just gets I recorded 10 of them in a day, and then the video editor goes in here and want to build an AI agent that manages, boom, returns with a finished edit. And so I pretty much have to do nothing. And then we go in here, and then whenever I add it into this approved column, it automatically gets published, and we have an automation system that goes, I think it's in a different workflow, but it will go and it will generate a thumbnail, and it will go and it will post it on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on X. And so that's what this content improvement system is. So this is probably for bigger teams. I am going to set up a campaign to test this offer probably within a week or so, because I want to see will not small businesses, but will like medium-sized businesses or creators find this valuable enough to pay for? This is something I'm testing out. But personally, I've found this insanely valuable for my own business. And if you want to grow an audience, you should build this system for your own business right now. It's a no-brainer. I would literally, if I were starting over from scratch, I would build out this system first, and I would set up cold email outbound campaigns, and I would set up this this system second, and those can take you 80% of the way there. You can start making huge amounts of income just from those two systems. And so the next one is the automated newsletter production system. We could also think about this as an automated content creation system. And so let me go and show you what this looks like. So this content production system is the first automation that I ever sold. And I sold it for $4,000 a month, and I've been running it for the last year for this client for $4,000 per month. And so I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So this is the automation system. This client, they publish articles. They're kind of like a journalistic type nonprofit, and I'll literally just go and take all of their articles. I will go and get the text, and then I will use AI to create versions of it on each platform. So this is creating it on Reddit, and then we're creating tasks in Asana for the social media team to review them and to publish them out. Same for LinkedIn, same for Facebook, same for Twitter threads. We actually use something called Typefully to schedule these out. And then last but not least, Instagram. So this has been running, and a lot of this is the prompt engineering. This template, if we go over here to AI Systems Mastery, you can find, or AI Agent University, sorry, changed the name of it recently. You can actually just get the templates right in here. So if I go into the classroom, or to the classroom, AI Agent templates, I have all of these templates in here. So you have the content generation systems, all of the prompt engineering swipe files that I use, marketing systems. So this marketing system, RSS trigger, this is the same thing that you're seeing right here. And so you can just plug and play and upload this directly into your own workflows. And so that's essentially the system. One of the ones that I'm building out with my team right now that I'm working to develop, and I'll record a video on this within the next week or so, is rather than pulling from RSS feed, not every business is going to be publishing articles. What we can actually do is we can go and we can scrape Reddit, we could scrape any different social media platform, YouTube transcripts. We could get video ideas and then turn them into content. So we could basically figure out like what type of content is working in our industry right now and how do we create content for that. And so that's essentially what the system is. But yeah, again, automated newsletter, you have it create newsletters and post them, have it create social media posts, have it create SEO written articles, whatever it is. This is a highly beneficial automation. I have multiple different clients that are having me create content for them, and multiple more people interested, by the week. And yeah, if you can the key thing here that no one will tell you is that anyone can give you a template for this. Like you can go and you can create this system. It probably takes 20 minutes to set up if you were to do it manually. But for these system, like for this client system that I built, the system probably took 20 minutes to set up. It probably took 20 hours to refine the prompts. And so if you've seen some of my past videos on Prometheus, let's see if I'm already signed in or not. So I literally went, this is just a testing environment, but I literally went block by block and created and split test these prompts. And I ran through hundreds and hundreds of iterations of these prompts with every model that you can imagine in here in order to get the outcome that I was looking for. And so if I were you, I would just go and plug and play an automation that I've made or someone else has made, and then going and, producing this. And yeah, if you're looking to deep dive into automations, you can join the link is in the description for AI Agent University. We have people that are ready to pay you to build them an agent. We just got this 3 days ago. This guy wants to pay someone within the community to build them out an agent, even if it's their first agent. We have, new people joining every single day, and we go into AI business strategy, lead generation, how to find your first clients, all the templates for the types of systems that you can set up for other people, and so on and so forth, as well as, multiple different courses and calls on a weekly basis. We're doing an AI business strategy session in an hour and a half, and then an N8N lead gen session for agencies in a couple days. And so the last system that I'm going to go into is the automatic hiring system. So this is essentially, if you go towards someone that's a recruiting agency or a business that's looking to hire, you can say, hey, I know this hiring process is extremely complex for you. If you have them fill out an application, I can take that and I can build out and fully automate every step of that system. So let me just go and show you what this system looks like. So I built this out internally for my own business. And so if we go in here without me showing too much information, this is I recently hired a developer to build out. I hired internal no-code developers with my team. Basically, I had them fill out this application. I reviewed all of them. I said if they are a good fit, if they're not a good fit, I requested trial projects from them. Once they submitted the trial project, it automatically went in here. So let me just show you. Actually, yeah. All right. So here's like all the people that submitted trial projects. All the information is in here from their hourly rate, their Loom submission, etc. And so as soon as they fill out a form, they automatically get dumped in here. And then once they finish their trial project, the trial project automatically updates. The Loom video automatically updates in here. And then I'm onboarding 3 of them. 2 of them I onboarded and then they couldn't deliver. 27 of them weren't a good fit for various reasons. And so you can see that, and every time they go to a new stage, they get sent an email with an application. And so I could basically go to a business and say, hey, I know hiring is challenging for you. Let me basically manage all of it for you. I'll basically set up this system. I'll set up all the applications. You just give me like whatever the, job description is, the JD, and I will put it into an application. And I can show you what the application actually looks like here. So I think if I go into tally form, tally.so, one second. So you can see I got a bunch of I got 86 people who applied for the no-code AI automation engineer job. And I'll show you what the tally form looks like. So this is the tally form I set up. Here's the application. They say who is smart scaling AI. What is the role? The role is you'll be building out these things, put in your contact details. Let me just do boom, boom, at gmail.com. 123. Does that work? 231. Boom. And then which country, and then the hourly rate that you want, the availability, your resume, your no-code experience. And so you can see it's a pretty comprehensive application, and it's all these specific things related to the job. They're filling out all these specific aspects that they understand, and then a link to their portfolio. And then once they give a link to their portfolio, final comments. And once they submit this, it immediately goes, I wonder if the automation is still live. Boom, you can see right here, it immediately updated this test one directly into, with all this information, phone number, per hour rate, and then, new assignee. So you can see that the assignee automatically got dropped in here. If I didn't put my actual email in. If I click request trial, an automation is going to send them an email with another application. And so I can basically go to a business and say, hey, I'll set this up for you. All you have to do is literally see the applicants rolling in. And if you like them, based on the information that's in this database, and if I go in here, you can see that the tool stack was all added into this, directly into here. And I can say, once you like them, you request a trial and we'll automatically send an email. You don't have to do any of the manual labor at all. And once you want to onboard them, we'll have an email sequence for that. You can basically say we'll automate the entirety of your hiring funnel. So that is the power of this system. Again, I haven't built this out for a client, but I built it out for myself, and it helped tremendously. And so that's the last automation system, guys. So I hope you found this valuable. I believe I have videos on the content systems and the deep personalization system. So you can find those videos on my channel. I'm gonna plan on recording videos on each of these specific systems and how I built them out. But if you found value from this, yeah, hope to see you in the next video. If you have any questions, if you have any ideas, if you have any types of systems that you're curious about building, having me build live on a call, just dropping them in the comments. I'm planning to start going through every single one of the comments. If there's any requests for video ideas, I'll go and actually record videos on the ideas that you guys drop into the comments. So feel free to drop requests or feedback or questions down there, and I'll be sure to answer them. So thanks so much, guys, for watching this. I really appreciate you, and I hope this video helps you make money using AI and get ahead of become resilient in an AI economy, and helps you realize that there's still real value that you can add. It's probably not the type of value that you've been adding if you've been working menial, monotonous jobs.